Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for developing a dynamic system for disaster management. India and Australia agree to bolster the comprehensive strategic partnership at the first India-Australia Annual Summit in New Delhi. Prime Minister to address the post-budget webinar on PM Vishwakarma Kaushal Samman tomorrow. Union Health Ministry is keeping a close watch on seasonal influenza situation. Iran and Saudi Arabia agree to resume diplomatic ties. In cricket, India with 36 for no loss against Australia in their first innings at the end of the second day of the fourth and final test in Ahmedabad. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called for developing a dynamic system for disaster management. He said recognition and reform are essential to strengthen disaster management. He also stressed on the need to institutionalize local planning and lay guidelines to improve disaster management. The Prime Minister was addressing the gathering after inaugurating the third session of the National Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction in New Delhi this evening. The theme of this year's event is building local resilience in the face of climate change. Mr. Modi said bringing reform in the disaster reduction system is the best way to reduce the probability of disaster.
डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट को मजबूत करने के लिए रिकॉग्निशन और रिफॉर्म बहुत जरूरी है। रिकॉग्निशन का मतलब है कि आपदा की आशंका कहां है और भविष्य में वो कैसे घटित हो सकती है। रिफॉर्म का मतलब है कि हम ऐसा सिस्टम विकसित करें जिससे आपदा की आशंका कम हो जाए। डिजास्टर की आशंका को कम करने का सबसे अच्छा तरीका यही है कि हम सिस्टम में सुधार करें।
Recalling the rescue operation carried out by India in the earthquake hit Turkey and Syria, the Prime Minister said the world has appreciated the role of India's disaster management efforts there, which is a matter of pride for all countrymen.
तुर्की और सीरिया में भारतीय दल के प्रयासों को पूरी दुनिया ने सराहा है और ये बात हर भारतीय के लिए गौरव का विषय है। राहत और बचाव से जुड़े ह्यूमन रिसोर्स और टेक्नोलॉजिकल कैपेसिटी को भारत ने जिस तरफ बढ़ाया है उससे देश में भी अलग अलग आपदा के समय बहुत सारे लोगों के जीवन बचाने में मदद मिली है।
During the event, the Prime Minister also felicitated awardees of the Subhash Chandra Bose Apada Prabandhan Puraskar. The winners of this year's award are the Odisha State Disaster Management Authority and the Lunglei Fire Station of Mizoram. The Prime Minister also inaugurated the exhibition for showcasing innovative ideas and initiatives and technologies in the field of disaster risk reduction. Speaking on the occasion, Union Home Minister Amit Shah said India is one of the most disaster-affected countries in the world. He informed that over 50% of the country's population is affected due to earthquake, flood, cyclone, drought and tsunami. Mr. Shah informed that keeping all such challenges in mind, Prime Minister Narendra Modi acted in a holistic approach and brought transformational changes in the aspect of disaster management. The two-day third session of the National Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction will be attended by over 1,000 dignitaries. The News Services Division of All India Radio brings a panel discussion on disaster risk reduction and climate risk management in our current affairs program tonight. Dilip Singh, National Project Manager, Climate Change, UNDP, and environmentalist Dr. C.K. Varshney are participating in the panel discussion. Dr. C.K. Varshney highlighted the efforts taken by India in order to strengthen India's fight against climate change.
India has committed that by 2030, 50% of our energy needs are going to be met by renewable energy sources, which are wind, particularly the solar energy, hydropower and bioenergy. We have got in India now a policy where we are promoting EVs.
Dilip Singh shared a statistical overview of India's leading role in climate risk reduction globally.
We will reduce the energy emissions intensity of the GDP by 45% by 2030 to 2005 levels. That means that energy efficiency of various sectors like transport or large industries that we have, for example, steel or cement, there the emissions intensity has to be reduced through energy efficiency measures.
Stay tuned to FM Gold channel 100.1 MHz from 9:30 p.m. onwards to listen to this special panel discussion. This will also be available on our website newsonair.gov.in and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese shared their commitment towards further deepening of comprehensive strategic partnership during a delegation-level bilateral talks in New Delhi today. During the first India-Australia annual summit, both the countries exchanged MOUs for cooperation in sports and audiovisual co-production. The Indian and Australian sides also exchanged terms of reference for India-Australia Solar Task Force, letter of intent between Atal Innovation Mission and Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation. Briefing media in New Delhi today on the Australian Prime Minister's visit to India, Foreign Secretary Vinay Mohan Kwatra said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese have expressed satisfaction on the progress made in various sectors between India and Australia.
Both leaders assessed and noted with great satisfaction the strong all-round progress across the range of areas including science and technology, strategic and security domain, renewable energy, partnership in critical minerals, trade and economic engagement, full set of comprehensive progress that the two countries have achieved.
Mr. Kwatra said both the leaders also appreciated the considerable progress made in defence and security cooperation.
In this context, Prime Minister Modi encouraged the Honourable Prime Minister of Australia to avail of the full range of opportunities that are available in India deriving out of Make in India initiatives and Atmanirbhar Bharat program for defence manufacturing.
Prime Minister of Australia Anthony Albanese today called on President Draupadi Murmu at Rashtrapati Bhavan, welcoming Prime Minister Albanese and his delegation. The President said the comprehensive strategic partnership between the two countries has given a boost to the bilateral engagements. She expressed confidence that this visit would instill greater momentum in India-Australia ties. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the country is moving ahead with a vision of women-led development, and this year's budget will further boost the efforts taken in this direction. Addressing the post-budget webinar on economic empowerment of women today, Mr. Modi said Nari Shakti is playing a pivotal role in increasing the speed and scale of the country's progress. He said women's participation is increasing in every field, and now they are leading in several sectors. He said with the continuous focus on women's empowerment, the country has moved from the approach of women's development to women-led development in the past 9 years.
देश आज सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास और सबका प्रयास की भावना के साथ आगे बढ़ रहा है। जब हमारी बेटियां सेना में जाकर देश की सुरक्षा करती दिखाई देती है, राफेल उड़ाती दिखाई देती हैं, तो उनसे जुड़ी सोच भी बदलती है। जब महिलाएं एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बनती हैं, फैसले लेती हैं, रिस्क लेती हैं, तो उनसे जुड़ी सोच भी बदलती है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the post-budget webinar on PM Vishwakarma Kaushal Samman at around 10 a.m. tomorrow. The webinar is a part of a series of 12 post-budget webinars being organized by the government to seek ideas and suggestions for effective implementation of the initiatives announced in the Union Budget 2023. The India-US 5th Commercial Dialogue meeting was held in New Delhi today. During the meeting, Union Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal and US Secretary of Commerce Dina Raimondo acknowledged that bilateral goods and services trade has almost doubled since 2014, surpassing $191 billion recorded in 2022. Both sides announced the launch of a new working group on talent, innovation and inclusive growth under the Commercial Dialogue. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Union Health Ministry is keeping a close watch on the seasonal influenza situation in various states and union territories through the Integrated Disease Surveillance Program network on real-time basis. In a statement, the ministry said it is also tracking and keeping a close watch on morbidity and mortality due to the H3N2 subtype of the seasonal influenza. The ministry said so far Karnataka and Haryana have confirmed one death each from H3N2 influenza. Indian Council of Medical Research has suggested to people to wash hands with soap and water, and symptomatic patients have been advised to wear masks and avoid crowded places. The Health Ministry said oseltamivir is the drug recommended by the World Health Organization, and the drug is made available through the public health system free of cost. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar has said India is a global example where technology has been used for making efficient services available to the people. He said technology enables accessibility and reduces out-of-pocket expenditure of citizens. Mr. Dhankar was addressing the second International Symposium on Health Technology Assessment 2023 in New Delhi today. Minister of Health and Family Welfare Dr. Mansukh Mandavia and Niti Aayog Member Health Dr. V.K. Paul were also present during the event. Iran and Saudi Arabia have agreed to re-establish diplomatic relations according to the joint trilateral statement issued by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Islamic Republic of Iran, and the People's Republic of China. An agreement has been reached between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Islamic Republic of Iran to resume diplomatic relations between them. It has been agreed to reopen their embassies and missions within a period not exceeding 2 months. The agreement includes their affirmation of the respect for the sovereignty of states and the non-interference in each other's internal affairs. They also agreed that the ministers of foreign affairs of both countries shall meet to implement this, arrange for the return of their ambassadors, and discuss means of enhancing bilateral relations. The delegations from the two countries held talks during the period 6th to 10th March 2023 in Beijing. In cricket, India were 36 for no loss against Australia in the first innings at the end of the second day of the fourth and final test of the border Gavaskar Trophy in Ahmedabad. Earlier, the visitors scored 480. Ravichandran Ashwin scalped 6 wickets for the Indian side. Earlier, Australia recovered from 2 losses to win the third test at Indore. India will try to win or draw this test match to win the series, while Australia will try to level the series 2-2 by winning this match. In Women's Premier League, Royal Challengers Bangalore, RCB, set a target of 139 runs in their stipulated 20 overs against UP Warriors at the Bravon Stadium in Mumbai. Earlier, RCB won the toss and elected to bat. Yesterday, Mumbai Indians beat Delhi Capitals by 8 wickets at Dr. D.Y. Patil Sports Academy, Navi Mumbai. At the stock markets, the Sensex and the Nifty closed with losses for a second straight day today amid weak global trends. A report.
Sensex dropped 671 points to end at 59,135. Nifty lost 177 points to settle at 17,413. In the foreign exchange market, the rupee today appreciated by 4 paise against the US dollar. The domestic unit closed at 82 rupees and 2 paise against the US currency. Gold price at the multi-commodity exchange for April contracts was trading at around 55,490 rupees per 10 grams. In intraday trade, Brent crude was trading at around $81.05 per barrel. Arjun Chaudhary for AIR News.
In Madhya Pradesh, the roar of a tiger was again heard today after 27 years in Shivpuri's Madhav National Park, when 2 tigers, a male and a female, were released under the Tiger Rehabilitation Project. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Union Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia were present on the occasion. Tiger enclosures have been made in Ballarpur area of Madhav National Park. The tigers will be kept in these enclosures for some time before they are released in the forest. In Rajasthan, a tigress named T-134 has been shifted from Ranthambore National Park to Sariska Tiger Project in Alwar. In Sariska, she will get a new name, ST-30. With this, the number of tigers in Sariska has increased to 28. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for developing a dynamic system for disaster management. India and Australia agree to bolster the comprehensive strategic partnership at the first India-Australia Annual Summit in New Delhi. Prime Minister to address the post-budget webinar on PM Vishwakarma Kaushal Samman tomorrow. Union Health Ministry is keeping a close watch on seasonal influenza situation. Iran and Saudi Arabia agree to resume diplomatic ties. In cricket, India were 36 for no loss against Australia in their first innings at the end of the second day of the fourth and final test of border Gavaskar Trophy in Ahmedabad. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.